when I looked at the film, I realized that I went to crash the boards way more than usual. When I first got here, Coach would tell me that I have to use my athleticism, and every time I went to get a rebound, I would always run under the basket. This time, try to run through the middle, and it kind of worked out. I got a couple offensive rebounds. It got me going, and when I got in the game, I was worrying about defense and rebounding, and everything else just came to me. So we're all kind of focused on defense, but I feel like I've always been a pretty gifted offensive player, and defense hasn't always been my thing, so I'm just glad I get to learn how to be a good defender, because I know whatever level I decide to play at, defense and offensive is both important.
What did your dad say after that game about the way you played?
He said that's how I need to play every game. He says it's just if I keep playing like that, it's just going to keep getting better and better. He called me. He was going to try to make it down to the game, but he was working late. But he said that's how I have to play every game, and he's not going to be in my ear too much, but he's just going to keep giving me tips here and there.
Has he been to one of your games yet?
Not yet. He's been working a lot. I think he's probably going to come to this game Saturday in Vegas.
Well, what do you think that'll be like to have him
there? Yeah, it'll be fun. I haven't seen him at my game since high school because just the whole situation last year, but it'll be fun to see him at my games. I know he's not going to be yelling at me like he used to, but yeah, it'll be fun.
How much have you learned from Mick Cronin? You said there's a lot to learn on defense. Mm-hmm. Being in this program, how much do you know that you have to learn now defensively?
There's a lot of defensive stuff that I didn't know coming into college, and just a lot of stuff that I'm still learning. Like usually when I played defense in high school, I was so much taller than everyone, it would just be kind of easier to block shots. But in college, everyone is my height, more skilled, stronger, so I have to learn how to use my body to like defend bigger players, either faster players, and we switch on the guards sometimes, so I have to learn how to guard every position, and I have to use my length. You know, he always tells me to keep my arms up, arms out, and I think that was like my second block against Notre Dame, and I just read the defense, and I learned that here, how to like read the defense and kind of see what the defender is going to do, so I'm learning a lot.
How much of it was a good fit for you to come to UCLA knowing Mick Cronin was now the coach? I mean,
I didn't know.
They hired him.
I didn't know how Mick's style was, so I kind of had to do the research, and I knew he was going to be heavy on defense, and I was like, I need that. I feel like in high school I just kind of wasn't a good defender. I just kind of just blocked everything when I had the chance. So now being here, if I learn how to guard a point guard all the way down to the center position, I feel like that could help me a lot.
Is it true that when he was pointing in that playoff game against Portland, he was pointing at you?
Yeah, it was. It was in the interview he said, because we were sitting in the box up there because I was just born and my whole family was up there, and then he caught the alley-oop and then he just pointed up there to the sky box, and in an interview he said he was pointing to me.
But you have no memory of that, obviously.
No, I have no
amazing
memory.
if you did. Coach Cronin said he thinks you have some things to manage that are kind of unique to you, just being the son of, your father. What is it that you manage? What kind of expectation do you? Is it something that you go through? Is it like just being on social media? What do you go through?
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, people saw my dad play. They saw the dominance he had in high school, college, and NBA, and I think people just automatically try to translate that to me and my little brother. I feel like Dwayne Wade's son gets it too, and LeBron's son gets it too. They just want you to be either what your dad is or better than your dad, and it's kind of hard. I mean, I kind of block out the noise. I feel like I know what I can do, and my dad knows what I can do.
Yeah, I didn't think we got into like a really good flow during that game. You know, I felt like there was a lot of just stagnant. Everyone was kind of stagnant, not a lot of movement. So I think we just couldn't really get into a flow. And towards the end, we started getting there. You know, we spread out the floor a little bit, but by that time it was kind of too late.
So what does it take to find that earlier in a game like Saturday?
I would say just moving and cutting without the ball. Every time you pass, you cut to the basket. Open up a gap for somebody to drive and attack. If they don't got a layup, kick out, next guy shoot it or drive it. So I think just moving the ball a lot better, and I think that's what we've been working on. I think we're gonna do a lot better this weekend.
Did Notre Dame do things defensively that threw you guys off?
Not necessarily. I think it was just more of like, we beat ourselves that game. We got to the line. I think we missed like 10 free throws, 11 free throws, something like that. We got what we wanted. They trapped the bigs, and we were expecting that, but I don't think we just executed well enough.
Shareef had a nice game, stepping up. Is it as you guys keep finding new guys who are going to become like central parts of this team, how important was it to see him kind of step up like that?
Oh, it was a great game. I mean, he had a lot of rebounds. He played great. He played aggressive. He played hard. Got the rebounds. That's what we need. We need a lot of guys like that. Start stepping up and coming together collectively as a team. Once everyone figures out what they need to do to help the team win, I think we're going to be really good.
You probably heard Shareef just said you're kind of a vocal leader on this team. Have you been like that from the first time you stepped foot here, or did it take you a while to get into that role?
I would say, I've always been that way since high school, but, starting off here, I wasn't as vocal as I usually wasn't, my senior year in high school. It took a little bit of time, to get adjusted and, get to know all the guys. But once that started happening, I started, get out of my shell, I guess you could say.
Is there any kind of element like from your teammates saying, "Hey, this true freshman's like saying all these things," or are they accept it well?
I think they accept it well. Yeah, I think so. They tell me when to do wrong. It's just a give and take. I tell them things, they tell me things. We're all understanding, and if we all understanding, it's going to be fine.
Would you agree that you're the most vocal person on the team?
I don't know if I'm the most vocal. I just know, I'm not afraid to, tell people things. And, there's other guys that are definitely vocal, like Jalen. He's a big guy that, will get up in you and, tell you what you're doing wrong.
You guys have now played a handful of kind of showcase games on national TV. Do you feel like that's going to help you maybe break through at some point in a game like Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I treat all games the same, whether, it's on national TV or at the park. I'm just going to go in and play hard, play my game, and try to get the W.
What do you see from North Carolina? Just the type of team they are, what kind of challenge they present?
I just know we're going to have to box out and get back in transition. Transition defense is going to be a huge one because I know they like to get out the floor and run and make sure we keep them off the glass. And I think we can do that.
What did you kind of see with the way the team played?
Just that they crowded the paint. They weren't going to let us score at the rim easily. And, just the mistakes that we made defensively in the second half, and things just to improve on.
What kinds of things do you feel like you guys, if you had that same, if another team kind of attacked you that same way, what would you try to do a little differently?
I'll probably say get more movement with the ball, let it swing from one side to the other. I feel like we got a little stagnant at some points, and that hurt us.
Coach Cronin said in your development to learn how to be a low post scorer, it's just a matter of slowing down a little and seeing the court.
I think it'll definitely help me be more successful when playing in games, to be aware of, my surroundings, how many guys I have around me, being able to get space and see the other side of the court, see the open man, and, it's something that we're working on in practice too.
How tough is that to translate what you get in practice to actually put it into a game? Because everyone gets sped up, right?
Yeah, just a little bit, but it's not too complicated because our practices are really similar to the game. We play at a high pace, high speed, just like the game, so we try to make it as similar as possible.
What can you take from that game going forth that's going to help you down the line?
I would have to say just staying together, being able to overcome whatever adversity it is that we feel like we're getting in that moment of time, and everything else will fall in place.
You guys played North Carolina and Vegas last year. I know the teams are different, but do you think like maybe there's a comfort level now? You guys have played kind of a handful of kind of these showcase games now, and maybe you guys are getting more comfortable in these environments?
I feel like we're definitely more mature than we were when we played in Vegas last year. I went through a lot in one season, so I'm looking forward to be able to come back and at the same city, playing a big team like North Carolina and being successful.
How good can this team be? What's your upside just for this season, do you think?
I feel like we can be really good. And I know it's early right now, so I don't get too crazy. Just take the hits and learn from it. But it's early, and we got a lot of season left, and I feel like we can be really special.
How close are you to getting where you guys want to be?
It's just a matter of wins and losses. So, once we start rolling, and I believe that we will, then the sky's the limit for us.
What about Shareef? He had a nice kind of breakthrough game there with 11 rebounds. What did you think of what he brought to the team?
Oh, that was good. That was his first away game. He didn't even travel with us last year, so that was good to see from him. And I feel like it built his confidence a lot, and we're going to need a lot more games like that, so it was great to see.